And Andy Lou, welcome to the Pacific Catch post-game show presented by Chase Freedom. We could call that an ass kicking? Where are we at with it?
Yeah, look. Bucks and the Celtics are on a different tier. Warriors took care of the Celtics at home, and the Warriors on the road got taken care of by the Bucks, right? So, I don't know. Kind of fitting. Not going to lie to you. Kind of thought it was coming, which is why on the last show I felt like the Warriors should have probably.
That's why you want to sit everyone.
Everyone, but obviously they're not going to do that as a real team. So it is what it is. So it's a frustrating game. I never really thought the Warriors had a chance in this one, though, right? It never felt like it was a close game.
No Wiggins, no Drew Holiday. Before the game, I thought that's kind of a wash in terms of importance. After watching the game, I feel like it was a much bigger blow to the Warriors because I'm not sure that 3-guard lineup works against the Bucks, and you just see how much they're missing an athletic wing who can help them in transition. And Wiggins maybe doesn't get to the rim as much as you'd like, but it definitely does more than anyone did tonight. So I feel like sometimes when a player's missing, you notice him a little more.
Yeah. I think everybody, the top three shooters, the top three scorers on this team all went 6 for 17, 6 for 18. One of those games where you're like, well, it'd be nice to have Andrew Wiggins in there, who hopefully will be back here in the next couple of days. And the Bucks were missing Drew Holiday, but before the game, when I saw that the Bucks had lost to the Houston Rockets, I said, "Oh, okay, they're gonna come out and they're gonna be real serious tonight, and they're at home and all that stuff, right?" So it felt like they threw the playoff defense at Steph. They were doubling him. Javon Carter was picking up half court. Like classic try-hard defense in the regular season. It's always going to work because Steph's kind of like Steph didn't even try for 7 minutes, and that told me like, okay, because you watch this Bucks defense and they're good, but it's not like Steph can't score against them, and then you see Steph don't shoot the ball for 7 minutes, and you're just like, well, okay, I guess he's not taking this game seriously. So
was that on him, or was that Poole and Clay just deciding to, it's my time, I'm going?
I think it's both. I mean, Steph's kind of like, I'll let these guys shoot, right? Like that's Steph's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Bucks played the type of defense where they know Steph isn't going to force a shot unless it's the NBA Finals, unless it's unless it's an actual important game. The real problem to me is that you always feel like the Warriors are going to lose this type of game on the road. It sucks when the Warriors are only one game over 500, so it feels like the Warriors are now back at 500 again, and it's really difficult to watch this team hover at that point because they really should be like, this isn't really a loss that should impact them, but it does, because they're fighting for their lives to be out
on the road. Milwaukee, you see that in the summer, you're like, that's an L. But because they had a nice 0-5 road trip to start the season, it's annoying because they got to pick up games somehow, and it's not happening. We got a special guest, Andy. Maybe you can help us break it down, bring us a different perspective from the Ringer. Waz, what's up, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm chilling. I was listening to you guys' sort of pre-show production meeting, and Andy goes, "I think I'm sick," and I'm like, "Since when was that even a question?" Everybody knows he's a sick bastard. Well, I guess he was talking about some other sickness ailing him.
I mean, it's Tuesday. I'm used to it. Weekend comes, Monday, he's like, I can't talk. Tuesday, I'm still feeling sick. By the time Thursday comes around, he's like, I'm feeling better. I'm ready to go again.
Yeah. I'm in a good mood. I go from not responding to Sam early in the week, and then by the end, I'm like, let's go. And then I'm back at it.
It's amazing what being done with work on a Thursday can do for your spirits. It's really, truly amazing.
The Warriors look like they're playing sick, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So we're recording this after the Bucks beat the Warriors 128-111. And let's just go big picture with it. Did you see anything tonight that changed your perspective on the Warriors and the Bucks?
No. It's funny because yesterday I was at the Clippers Celtics game, and I was like, right now I'm hanging out with Warriors fans. I was hanging out with Celtics fans yesterday at the game, and like it's a similar anxiety, right? It's like we have these problems. Will they stop us from reaching, our ultimate goals? I feel like with the Warriors, how can anybody think they have things to learn about the Golden State Warriors? Like when it actually matters, right?
Yeah.
When the chips are down and it's do or die and all the sports cliches and, they got to be tough and they got to have grit. Like, how can you reasonably think that they won't bring it? I'm not somebody who thinks that. However, I do think the Bucks are one of the teams that can press the Warriors' disadvantages, and that's size. They can be big in the ways that matter against Golden State. And let's face it, like this is what the whole Wiseman flirtation is about. Like an understanding that their one true weakness is heft down low, and the Bucks can exploit that weakness. The bottom line is Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best. He's the best interior player since prime LeBron or Shaq. Yeah, one of those two. I think it's Kenny that used to be like LeBron is the Shaq of the perimeter. But yeah, like who else can just put so much pressure on your interior defense, in that you got to sacrifice and sort of shore up leaks everywhere else because of it, besides Giannis. So yeah, I think the Bucks matchup is a particularly daunting one for the Warriors for sure.
Yeah, and I thought like my thought was I thought the Warriors actually did a decent job on him in the half court, particularly with Looney and Draymond. They just got murdered in transition, and that's what's unique about Giannis. Like it's get the ball off the rim, 2 steps, he's already at the other 3-point line. And if you're not like locked in and slowing him down, like no one's stopping him once he's got a step going. So
yeah,
that was I got to double check it, but it's the first time Draymond has played against Giannis in like 4 years, maybe 3 years, for whatever reason. One of them always sits the games. Then you have like the year the Warriors aren't competitive. And you know how these things go. They're in different conferences. Next thing you know, it's 4 years. They haven't played Giannis since he became Giannis. With that. And it was like, so it's the first time we even get to see that matchup. And yeah, I mean, shocker. It's a problem because he's a problem for everyone, right?
It's the only team in the NBA that I think has a player that's as good as Steph, if not better. The Warriors not worried about any team in the NBA because at the end of the day, it's like we literally saw this 6 months ago. At the end of the day, Boston didn't have somebody better than Steph. You're going to lose a series. And then you're going to have that same thing happen. Suns, same thing. I think early in the career against Portland, same thing. Every team in the West, same thing. OKC was the closest that got to him because KD was right there with Steph, but ultimately wasn't as good. And he has never been as good. And I think now you look at the rest of the league, Giannis is that guy, right? Which is why I guess if you're a Warriors fan, are you rooting for Boston to come out of these? If you are going to make it out of the West, because you may finally go up against the guy that, Steph can do everything he can do, but you still might not have the best player in that series. I think that's it, because you look at the rest of the team. I'm sorry.
Roster.
Every single one of them. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not that moved by Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. Those guys are fine players. They're fine. But at the end of the day, they're not killing you. They're not going to beat you. Giannis is going to beat you. What are we looking at?
That guy over there.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, too, because I think even in the finals, the times that Boston was able to have success is when they were out physicaling and out hefting Golden State. It's not they weren't playing some beautiful basketball when they were having their winning moments. They were just bigger, physical, beating them on the boards. They were beating them down court. They were just, more athletic and overwhelming in the few moments. Well, it wasn't few. I mean, the series, went to 6 games or whatever. But, like in the moments that they had success, it's because they could beat the Warriors that way. And, I think they still possess those advantages, a lot less so without Robert Williams gumming the Warriors offense up. But I think Boston is still a difficult matchup, right? I think if Golden State, you feel the ultimate confidence, we already beat them up. But you're a year older. They will have a year of having seen a lot of your stuff and trying to figure stuff out. And I think Boston will still present problems. I think New Orleans presents problems for a similar reason. It's that they could take advantage of Golden State's lack of heft on the perimeter. I'm not saying I would pick New Orleans against Golden State. I wouldn't. Sorry, no. I wouldn't do that.
They feel a year or two away, but it could
right.
be, yeah.
But like you see with what Zion is able to do in whatever half court transition, pick and roll, one-on-one attacking guys, post ups, which I think kind of is the key to beating Draymond. You have to be able to post him up. If you can't like straight up just back him down from close in, like you just have no chance otherwise, right? Like you see it with somebody like Jokic, where it's just like, bro, no matter where I catch the ball, I'm the one person that could back Draymond down. Unless you're able to do that, it's just not good. Like that's why AD has trouble with Draymond. He doesn't move him. So if you can't move Draymond, you're dead in the water. I think Zion is one of those guys who could potentially do that. Again, not to say that Golden State Warriors aren't going to produce their own problems for teams. That's the nature of – that's why we play these games, right? But I think there's teams that can hurt them. It's just, will they have enough perimeter defense to deal with all the crazy shit Golden State is doing with their beautiful game? Will they execute at the level that Golden State does in the games that matter, right? Where, you still get a couple of the crazy Steph turnovers and all of that stuff. But, man, when it's nut crunching time, like they execute assignments like nobody's business. And then, of course, again, and I know this is not analytical and, pocket protector and all of that, but these guys make big shots when it counts. They just do. I've just seen it over and over and over again. Like they make big shots when it matters. So, when I think about in the future, in the playoffs, I think there are difficult matchups out there for them, but you have to have that matchup advantage. Like again, you bring up Phoenix, they can't press none of those advantages. They just don't have it. Their center is 7'2", but he wants to play like Jamal Crawford, so it doesn't matter, right? There are teams that are good. I think Portland's really good. They're not going to be able to attack Golden State.
As far as I'm concerned, Portland and Phoenix are the same. They're just they're cute. They're cute teams who'll get their big regular season wins, and push comes to shove, they won't be there. We got a super chat from Awesome here. I hate this team. I think this is just a bad team. This is game 30. You are who you are. Technically, it's game 28. The process all season, roster construction, just discouraging. All right, Waz, we have someone who's not in the weeds, living and dying with every possession. So let me ask you this: 14-14. We know they're better than that, but like, at what point do you start getting worried that they dug a hole they can't get out of? And then, do they need to make a move? Because that's going to be the conversation from now until the trade deadline. It's almost December 15th. No one's making a deal now, but like from now until February, it's going to be the same old, do they need to add another big type of conversation? Yeah.
I think they do. I don't think they need to. I think it'd be really nice if they did, because whenever you're not playing Draymond or Looney or both, it's just it's a fucking disaster. So
JaMychal Green is not working out. Like that's
he's not a 5, man. He's barely a 4. I think it's just not an ideal fit, especially defensively for JaMychal Green.
They saw the auto thing work out perfectly last year and thought they could hit lightning in a bottle twice.
He's not Otto Porter in the IQ department. He's just not, and that's not to say he's a dumb player. It's just Otto Porter is a really like high IQ basketball player. Like he has an understanding for everything that they're trying to do on both offense and defense and how he can best, sort of fill in those gaps. And so when you again, like these are things, it's not about setting a screen, it's knowing when to set it, who to set it for, who's the guy on the opponent's team that is best suited to be screened. It's these little things that not everybody is suited to understanding just intuitively. Like that's what makes Otto Porter on this team, such a great player to have, because the things that they're trying to do, the matchups that they're trying to exploit in the ways that they're trying to do them, that's why these young guys have a hard time understanding. It's like, what, you told me to screen and roll, and it's like, yeah, but there's a timing that comes in depending on how your guy's defending you and how the guy's defending Steph, and or sometimes you might want to slip it. Or it's these things that you need to understand from, I don't know how to say it, from just knowledge, right? But as far as am I worried? I'm not worried. I can't be worried. I'm sorry, I can't be worried, and it's frustrating. I understand as a fan who, you want to see your team be 22-8 right now, top of the West, ready to just, take another 1 seed, going to the All-Star break, just looking good, no questions. But at the end of the day, these guys won a championship last summer. It's a veteran-laden team. As we know, these guys are the most primed to understand that the 82 games in the regular season is a fucking slog. And yeah, they're the most likely to coast a little bit. I understand that. And I want to add something else, because I think this is important for Warriors fans to understand. This is not the Clippers poo-pooing the regular season. Clippers who have never accomplished a single thing in their fucking life. Okay, this is not them blase blah regular season. Oh, I'm gonna be a playoff team. I'm gonna be a team that turns it on in the playoffs. The regular season is beneath me. I can't be bothered with this. That's for peasants. The Clippers doing that is tone deaf. It's a lack of self-awareness. It's a team that's never done dick. 95% of them on their own, and obviously 100% of them collectively. We know what Kawhi Leonard has done in the playoffs as an individual.
It's a lot of dudes claiming Kawhi's resume in the past as a reason to try. Yeah.
So the that's not the Warriors. They've actually done it. They actually have championship equity, not just individually, but as a collective. And so it's a little different when they treat this regular season the way that they're doing it than, say, the Clippers. Like, they're not going to have a moment where the Denver Nuggets are just dreaming them in a playoff series, and it's just like, what the hell? I don't recognize this team. No, this team in a series, in a 7-game series,
hasn't shook. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this team is going to go down swinging. They're going to be hard to beat. I mean, right now, I don't see how you pick anybody out west that'll beat them in a series. I mean, I can see how you do it, because I did pick Denver to win the championship, but like, it's tough.
Denver has been they win a lot of games, but not.
It's disappointing. By the way, they're another Clippers poo-poo regular season team too. But the problem is, Denver, yeah, we get it. You're a good offense. You're 27th in defense. That's not a thing.
Which we guessed was going to be the issue. And Michael Porter Jr. has been out for who knows how long. He just can't stay healthy. I mean, you're not going to win a championship without him. So. I mean, that seems like a team. I was high on them too. And then it seems like the rest of the West, like, we know what we've got with the Suns. We know what we've got with the Clippers right now. Even though they looked last night, like, for me, like, I know that we're not going to have enough from the Clippers. Like, that's what I know, is that we know that Kawhi and PG aren't going to be there because they've never been there. Right?
So we know that. Not buying the John Wall media tour or whatever,
Is there even a media tour going on? Like, no. It's pretty much Pelicans and Grizz is where the West is, and as Sam always says, maybe they're a year away. maybe to me, maybe they're just
They're
not
a
good
year away
enough.
till they do it, right?
I mean, the
It
Grizzlies
was-
definitely, I remember completely dismissing them before that series last year. And Sam was like, look, man, they got all this athleticism. This is exactly the kind of shit that gives these guys trouble. And there were moments where I felt like, oh shit, like I'll be damned if these dudes ain't giving Golden State
I was
some
not
trouble.
willing. I was not willing to hear Phoenix was a bigger problem, though. I was like, it's a Chris Paul team. We've seen this for a decade and a half. And these guys are at least a different animal,
Yeah.
They may not be better, but it's a different animal.
Yeah, and I think in a series, if they can find a way to make it ugly, to make it way more possessions based, even though I don't think they're a good half court offense, but like when you muddy the game and slow it down against Golden State, for a team like them, it'll be to their advantage because they can create extra possessions on stuff like offensive rebounds and and things of that nature. So I think they'll be a tough out if they somehow see Golden State. When it comes to the execution of all of this, I just don't see a team in these big ass moments. Especially look, the Pelicans, I think like their talent wise, they have everything. They can shoot it. They can beat you with one-on-one isolation. They have dudes that can punish little guys who try to switch. They got defenders. Even though their very best guys aren't exactly Scottie Pippen, but they have I could see Alvarado being annoying. I could see him being annoying in a Golden State series. I could obviously Herb Jones is proven to be a top-notch, top-tier perimeter defender. They have all of the pieces, all of the goods, but I could just see meltdowns and choke jobs in their future against, a playoff team that's just more ready than they are.
It's like the Warriors choking against the Spurs in 2013. It's not really choking.
Or how about this?
Yeah.
The freaking Timberwolves against Memphis last year. They should have beat that team. They should have won that series.
That was insane.
All these double-digit leads and just melt that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, this stuff doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but like you get into these big moments and Karl Towns is fouling dudes while he's in foul trouble, 90 feet from the basket. Like, these are things that the Warriors would not do in a big spot. They'll do it tonight against the Bucks, but in a big spot, it's not going to happen.
Let's talk two specific Warriors because I'm with you. Look, I'm not worried about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins who didn't play. They're all veterans. As far as I'm concerned, like if they don't perform, you weren't going to win anyway. If Steph, if he gets old, it's over anyway. It doesn't really matter. But we're not going down that road. That's not what we think. Two players are interesting to me right now, Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga. Jordan Poole was terrible tonight. And he's been kind of just like, I don't know what to make of him this season. Honestly, I thought he was amazing last year. I thought he should have started over Klay for large stretches of the run. Draymond punched him. They paid him. And he's just like, he looks a lot more like Lou Williams than a starting guard to me. Like he looks more like when he's feeling it, he'll give you 30 on 15 shots off the bench, but there's a lot of 6 for 18, 4 for 15, kind of frenetic. Like if my shot's not on, I'm not doing anything for you kind of nights going on. And one that's not like a player we associate with the Warriors during this whole run. Like those aren't their type of guys, but I don't know what to do with him, honestly, at this point. Like it's early but he doesn't have that like veteran like I'm not worried about Klay Thompson. Like
he didn't take a leap. Though. We expected him to take a leap. He didn't take a leap.
Yeah, Klay was just as dumb as him tonight, but I know push comes to shove, Klay can like flip the switch and become an adult when he needs to.
Mm-hmm. I think the Jordan Poole thing is interesting because he is a one-way guy in the sense of, he's not some great shakes on defense. And his thing is absolutely scoring. I think he's gotten better, obviously, throughout the course of his career as a playmaker, but it's not like, you're going to ask him to run an offense for 30 minutes a game. That's just not the kind of guy that he is. And what's funny to me is like when I was watching him this year, it felt like he should just be shooting it more. He should just be Klay Thompsoning it, so to speak. And it feels like he's been second guessing himself. Like you talk about 18 shot nights. It just, when I watch it, it doesn't feel like the guy that I watched last year who had defenses in a panic where they weren't sure if it's like this classic defensive decision. It's like not the drip. Well, we're gonna get to that dribbling shit too. I think defenses were not sure if they should actually honor these deep ass threes. Like, is this dude Dame and Steph like? Does he really have the green light to shoot that every time? And then when it would go in, and you would see what all the things that they would unlock in his driving game and all of that kind of stuff, to where now I don't feel like he has that same confidence to do that. And I think defenses are just reacting to him differently. Whatever it was about his contract being up last year, this guy just felt the energy to just let it go. And I think there's a body language. I don't know. I don't like doing this like sort of, esoteric shit. You know what I'm saying? But
no, we defer to Bill for that. Yeah.
Right, of course. But there's a way in which you're taking these shots within the flow of the game that just doesn't feel the same right now. I can't put my finger on it.
I think it's because they had him leading the second unit to start the season and tried to make him like Chris Paul. And that's just Pool's never going to be that guy. Like Steph is never going to be that guy. Steph can do it because he's 35 and he's just been around, so he could do whatever he wants and he'll figure it out. And he's the GOAT. But they had Poole trying to be a pass first creator, and that's just not him, man.
He's not that kind of guy.
He's not, and he shouldn't be. Actually, that's probably even better way. Like he just shouldn't be that guy right now. Like, do your job. You're getting paid to shoot the rock and score the basketball. And I'm watching him make a triple move when we only need one move. He's so quick. He's so quick and he's strong. You just need one move, pull up mid range or get to the hole. Yeah. But he's doing all this weird, I'm gonna shake you, but I'm gonna go back. Like Lionel Messi's move today, which was really cool. He did like he sprinted, stopped, hezzy, turn around. He did like 4 moves in a row, which I've never seen. I guess I don't watch soccer, but like Poole's trying to do that shit on the basketball court, and it's like, dude, just go by your guy. So I don't know. It felt like he was trying to get Wiseman involved and Kuminga involved, all those guys involved, Jermichael Green involved, and it's just like what made him successful last season is he could just drop 30.
And to your point, Andy, that's why they put Draymond in the second unit, because it was like it needs someone in there to just kind of be the adult and just let Poole cook. Didn't work tonight, but that's kind of.
To me, Jordan Poole should be hunting his shot. Like that should be his goal. The come off screen, catch and shoot, the attack closeouts, all of that. And then he sprinkles in the dribble stuff. And, I think it was Nate Duncan, man. I heard bring this up. He was like, I wonder if he's lost confidence in the handle because of all the carries that got called on him. Right. And he was like, am I allowed to do this move? And I wonder if that's in his head now, which is kind of laughable because the carry jumped the Sharks so long ago. I mean, like KD,
I don't know what to do when they call a carry. I'm like,
that's not a thing. It's crazy. It's on every possession he's got. That's just how dribble works in the NBA now, bro.
Yeah.
Calling a carry is crazy to me. Like, dudes literally they just literally throw it across their body. I'm like, bro, that like when I was 14, 15 years old, which was a long time ago, folks, that straight up was just an illegal play, which is just now allowed. So it's like, I wonder if that's gotten into his head. I mean, I still like Poole a lot. I just think he needs to get it in his head that he's more Clay. He's more Ray Allen in Boston kind of guy than he is anything else. Like, bro, when you out there score, shoot, score, that you doing that is going to open it up for everybody else. All that other shit, man, I don't know about that.
He's got just enough playmaking to entice you, but the more you watch him, it's like play him as a scorer and let him make a play if they close him hard. Don't have him trying to set everyone else up.
Yes.
All right, we didn't even talk about the refs tonight, which I generally don't like to, but 7 techs? Steve Kerr said this like 15 minutes ago. Not a good showcase for this league. Kind of ties into what you're talking about, the carries. It's just I feel like every year there's an annoying new emphasis, and I never really get the point of it, because it's like you're just gonna go back to not calling things in the playoffs. And it's like, okay, so in November and December, we got to watch phantom carry calls or weird officiating. And maybe it's just the reality of like playoff refs are better than regular season refs. But
yeah, and I don't know. These kind of things, I don't think the carry is taken away from the game. So I don't know why we should care. You know, the stuff with the 3-point fouls, I really wish they'd like got rid of that. Like watching dudes fall on every fucking. How did people manage not to fall on every 3 back in the days? What am I missing here? I just wish there was a way to legislate that out. I love that they got rid of the take foul.
Yeah.
Because it's just dramatically down. There's a couple of them where they sneak them in and it's like, oh, I went for the ball and whatever. But like most of those take fouls are gone, which I'm very satisfied with.
And we all know when someone's not trying to make an actual play, when they're trying to play for the foul. Like, so I'm with you there. Let's hit on a Kuminga and then get to these voicemails real quick. So we talked Jordan Poole. I need because I'm a big Kuminga guy. Not gonna lie to you. Very like all in. I've already penciled him into the Hall of Fame. Going to be in Springfield in like 15 years. There for him. What are you seeing? What do you think of him? Just like as someone who doesn't watch the Warriors like that.
I think here's the thing about him. So I think if I'm tell me if I'm wrong, but I think part of why you're in on Kuminga is having watched Wiggins blossom into the guy that he's turned into. Is that part of the calculation?
Yeah. Also, it's just like Steph surrounded by wings who can defend. That works. That works.
Okay.
I don't know if I buy that his jumper will ever come around. Like he's 20.
I buy it.
Who knows? Who knows? But like, it doesn't need to. You don't see. It's basically the defense and the aggressiveness that has me all in on him. That's what it comes down to. It's like,
I think the thing about Wiggins,
let me get the dog emoji up here now, or the.
I think he got that dog in him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with Kuminga, it's like he hasn't shown as much on ball stuff as you would hope for a quote unquote perimeter guy, right? Think about what Shaedon Sharpe is showing already in Portland, as an on ball. And nobody thought Kuminga was that skilled when he came in, but it's just he hasn't shown any true pizzazz, any oomph on the ball. And so it's hard for me to get hyped for a dude when it's just like, all right,
we all know, Steve Kerr just lets guys cook.
No, he does not. He does not. And so it's harder for me to get hyped for a guy who's gonna be like, slightly doper Jay Crowder. Like, is that what we're hoping for?
Oh, that's a little. I mean, first off, he's a freak athlete. Like,
yes, he is. He's a way better athlete than Jay Crowder. But but the functionality of the athleticism, Andy, right? Like this, Stromile Swift was a great athlete. He didn't function that way. He didn't function that way on the floor, though.
I was gonna go more on the Sean Marion, Jaylen Brown type of like. That's like. I'm not saying he's there.
I mean,
I'm saying that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're aiming for.
I get that, but Sean Marion used his athleticism to impose his will on the game. This guy was like imposing his will on possessions in positive ways quite early in his career too. Like it didn't take Sean Marion is basically a Hall of Fame type of guy.
Attempts for Kuminga tonight.
Marion's one of the guy.
My guy. I mean, look, man. He's not afraid to take it to the rack. I'll put it that.
That's fair. That's
Andrew
fair.
Wiggins is the easy comp. You mentioned it to start this thing off. It's Wiggins as of right because he's athletic. You don't think of him defensively because that's not what he was drafted for. But I don't know. I think he will be elite defensively. I think he's showing some of that now, and he can't dribble just like Wiggins. So
I think Wiggins had better. As bad as we dogged Wiggins' handle his whole career, his handle was better than Kuminga's.
I mean, he's
at
more
every single.
I think it is, but I think Kuminga's more aggressive. Like look, I was joking about the free throw attempts. I've watched him get 10 free throw attempts multiple games over the last 2 years. Like he just barrels to the rim in a way that and I'm struggling to think of a good comp for it in a way that guys like Wiggins don't.
I was going to say Giannis.
I wasn't going to go
not
there.
Giannis, maybe a Latrell Sprewell if I want to date myself some more. A Bay Area legend.
Producer Tim throws Corey Maggette in there. Yeah,
that's the Warriors great right there. That's a former Warriors great.
But yeah, it's in that kind of.
But this is what I will say, Sam, and I think this is what you're getting at. You can't give up on Jonathan Kuminga, even. And I hate being the guy that's like in 2 years you got to pay him, dude. Even if you have to pay him some level of something close to shit that he has not even come close to showing, the Lakers are instructive. Getting rid of Caruso and Kuzma and KCP and these perimeter guys who do all of this shit that a lot of people don't want to do. And when you put that around greatness, just magnifies the impact. This is just he's got the makings of a winning player, 100%. I just think he has not been able to showcase that yet. And part of it is you're on a team that literally was good enough to win a championship.
With you,
look at what Jalen Green gets to do on his team.
I always say that. Can you imagine? I bet Kuminga's so pissed off watching the Rockets whenever they play him because he's like, dude, 100%. I could be shooting 38% from the field. I can also coast on defense because nobody holds me accountable.
He must have loved summer league where you got to just.
He looked terrible. And he looked terrible.
He had the bad game, the first bad game. The first game was bad, and then he came out and he basically dominated. He embarrassed himself. I'm sure somebody talked to him and was like, bro, this is nasty. You a second-year summer league guy?
The 50th time.
Sources say he was at the Aria the night before with Waz. These things happen. But we won't get into that.
Sam Esfandiari was with me at the Aria the night before, if anything.
you two motherfuckers, man.
Tim, we got those voicemails.
Oh yeah, let's get to those. I can't wait.
Hey guys, it's Nate, and I'm in LA currently. First off, happy holidays. Anyways, I've been seeing this stat floating around for a couple weeks about the Dubs free throw disparity. It seems to be reaching some sort of historic levels. And I know this is partially because they've been functioning more as a jump shooting team and have been really lacking on D and their rotations. But it feels like the refs are really screwing us in some of these games. Just wanted to know your guys' thoughts. Thanks.
I don't do ref commentary. I just think it's a waste of everybody's time.
I'll let it fly. I'll let something fly because I always do. Look, man, NBA refs and the Warriors. Steph goes out and he's always taunting the refs, and Draymond's always laughing at the refs. And the Warriors are assholes. They always do the asshole bit, and they did this when KD's on the team. And refs are like they're humans. So I'm sure they go back home and they're texting other refs in the same group chat. And you're like, did you see what Steph did the other day? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Today was ridiculous though. I've never heard. Hey, by the way, I thought
this picture, that this killed me when I saw Draymond.
It's like remember LeBron when he was in Indiana and he pointed at the guy. I thought it was him. Well, I thought it was gonna be. I thought somebody said something racist. I thought it was gonna be a white dude. It was a black. Did you see that? Who they kicked out?
Yeah, it was a black
like,
dude,
what?
just a regular black dude, Milwaukee Midwest cat trying to enjoy himself. You know,
Come on, Draymond. Come on.
hating on the Heartland. Draymond is from the Heartland.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's willing to. Hey, if this gets Giannis out of the game, he's willing to do it. No,
Draymond, man. Draymond's gonna go and step over Giannis in the NBA Finals and bait him into a suspension this June. I can't wait, or next June. This guy's.
let's get to the next one, Tim.
Hello, this is Joshua from Michigan, and my hottest take is that the Warriors, if they play the Bucks in the finals, they would get swept. It would be ugly. It probably is not a super hot take, but based on this game today, it is horrible. Love you guys. You guys do a great job. See you later. Bye.
That's a hot take.
The Warriors, since they've drafted Steph Curry, have not lost a series in under 6 games. I'm not going to say the Bucks can't beat them. I will put everything I have that they will not fucking get swept.
They can't get swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's the thing about the Bucks and the Celtics.
Also love to play with their food and do like
they're gonna have just disgusting execution games. Drew Holiday is gonna take some of the worst shots you've ever seen in your life. They're gonna have some of those games. Again, I think the reason to be worried is there when they don't feel like playing with the two bigs, they can put Giannis at the 5 and all the stuff when Robert Williams felt good that was killing the Warriors. Yeah, Giannis could do that and score 40. You know, it's a tough matchup. But they're not gonna get swept. Come on, guys.
Warriors
be serious, guys.
Warriors fans are the best, man. It's a mid-December loss, but you know that's why we do the show.
And people got to remember their history, right? I'm old enough to remember the Houston Rockets, their second championship.
We're already there with the clutch.
Yeah, we're doing the clutch Rockets, where there was a 6 seed. They lollygagged the entire way, and they just started killing people in the playoffs. Like that's just what happened. That's literally what happened. They swept the fucking Magic in the playoff. Like this team was incredible. Same with the Shaq Lakers. You know, what were they up to 20th in defense or something ridiculous like that? The playoffs came and they dominated. I think the Warriors are of that ilk coming off of a championship. All of the guys that made them win: Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Kevon Looney, and you know, even there were certain points where Poole was getting in on the act and Otto Porter's gone, but whatever. But the 5 main reasons they won the championship last year are all back. And they're not going to be drastically worse than the team that won the NBA championship, guys. They won the championship last year.
By the way, shout out Andre Iguodala for getting on the officially getting into the season, getting his first tech. I mean, he hasn't suited up yet, but my guy. Tim, you want to keep it rolling?
Hey guys, this is Ebony. I've been listening to you guys for about 2 years now, and honestly, with this game, it's not even that the Warriors played terrible, but the Bucks also didn't do anything that special. And I don't think Giannis is Giannis. Sure, whatever. But like, before the second half even starts, Milwaukee has 13 free throws, 13-0, and then the Warriors have 3 touchdowns before the first half even. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like how this is a nationally broadcasted game, and they're gonna call that many technical fouls and no free throws. Make it make sense. That's all I got for y'all. Have a good night.
She's pissed.
I love it. You know, man, in our business, a lot of times the only other people I'm talking to the NBA about are like other jaded, nonplussed the cooler than school media guys.
Yeah,
So it's dope to listen to partisans just be pissed. It's great.
It's the
I
best.
love it.
It's
I
the
love
best.
this.
It's the passion because I think I think Warriors fans are one of the best at it because it's so easy not to give a shit about these games, and I'm never gonna act like I don't care.
By the way, Andy,
while you tweet after the loss, I don't even care.
Can we?
I say a lot of shit. I say a lot of shit.
Can we please, the NBA, man? And I know I'm becoming this insufferable European soccer person. We got to cut the season down. God damn, these games, man. How do you get like? Could you imagine if we just did the round robin?
You guys watch the Champions League once, and you're like, "Yeah, dude, we
That's
have a 12-game season. Let's go."
No, not a 12-game season. Round robin, home and home, everybody. 2 games a week, so that all of these injuries and the load management and all of that.
We gotta do 5 other nights a week. Have friends. Come on, man.
Have friends. Obsess about the games that had just happened because there's actual consequence to it. Like because of the churn, we just move on to the next thing.
That's true. It doesn't stop NFL people from talking all day. You be a film guy. Just start breaking it down.
That's it. And it's like, oh, the last 3, you start acting like a 3-game sample actually matters the way they do in the NFL. Like, I'm really ready to get this 82-game shit out of here.
It's never.
And I'm not just saying that as a cynical media person who's just like, really, guys, 82 games. But I honestly think just as a practical matter, it's too many games.
Driving the interest of the game would be so much better because tonight they throw Warriors in Milwaukee. I mean, like the call, like Warriors Bucks on TNT. This is marquee matchup.
It should matter.
It should matter. The Warriors go down by 18, and they're like, "Fuck it," because we have a game tomorrow against Indiana, and us winning at Indiana means exactly the same thing as us winning in Milwaukee. So who cares, right? And so that's the problem.
But if it's the NFL, we're having an existential conversation.
Oh my God.
Bucks have their number. They have no answer for 34. Good. It's over.
Bruh. Steve Kerr's job might be on the line. Like we're having a lot more fun with this if these games just didn't come washing over you.
Yeah.
One game after another. I've really become a true believer in this. I really think. And again, I get it. I've been watching way more Premier League now. I'm honestly
trying to build a little FOMO. I get it. I'm
honestly not opposed to scrapping the playoff like the Premier League.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to the 60-point system.
Now we're doing draws. Now it's like
tie game. That's
the result. Yeah. Got a point.
Hey, what's penalty kicks? What would be the basketball version of penalty kicks?
If it's free throws, that works out for the Warriors.
Look, I'm willing to make point differential part of the equation.
Dunk off that. That's not.
Listen, I'm willing to make this thing, but whatever.
Looney to dunk off, yeah.
We get our playoff fix with the Champions League, so like it's unfair to say that about English Premier League because we do get a playoff format with Champions League. But man, yeah, I'm just trying to spice things up, Andy. I'm trying to get some new lingerie. Get a little role play going.
I get it. You're enjoying the World Cup. I get it.
I just looked up anal beads on Amazon. I'm trying to spice it up, Andy.
for the dude or for the girl?
Hey, for both. What? Hey, what? Hey, why not?
All right, we got one more.
We got one more. We're out of here.
Out of control.
Yeah, I think the wake up is the Jerry Jones of the NBA. Like I think post Steph, this is gonna probably be like one of the worst like incompetent franchises in the league post Steph. That's my take.
Let's go. All right,
post Steph. Worst franchise in the league.
Here's the underbelly of Light Years Nation for Waz.
Yes.
Lacob does not appreciate what Steph Curry's done. And we're entering a Jerry Reinsdorf, Jerry Jones post era. When Steph retires, they're gonna be like the Bulls after MJ, where they have this name cachet, but then all of a sudden you're looking up, you're like, they haven't really done shit for 20 years. They're kind of just living off the residuals of that era.
Okay,
I'll now let you speak here.
Here's again, I'm a native New Yorker. There's a guy named Jim Dolan up there who has something to say. None of the success, twice the arrogance of Jerry Jones. So there's that. I think the thing about Lacob, though, that Dubs fans have to appreciate is he's empowered Bob Myers and Steve Kerr. And he's put money behind that empowerment. He's empowered competence. You can't put him in the Jerry Jones, Reinsdorf, all of that. There's no Garpax nonsense. There's none of that crap. There's no making your son the king of the entire land. Not to say that his son doesn't work for the team, and he's not, but he's, by all accounts, he's not some crazy person walking around the place like he's the king of basketball, right? He's empowered Steve Kerr and Bob Myers. That, like, I'm sorry, like that's job number one of ownership. Empower competent people and then spend money to support it. He's doing it. You can't bro, y'all taking. I hate to defend the owner. Trust me, I hate these fucking oligarchs. I hate every single last one of them. Right?
Looking odds out.
No. Don't get me started on my comrade shit. Don't get me started. However, when it comes to his class of peers, bro, he's at the top of his class, and you can say it's a low bar, you can say whatever you want. He's empowered competent people and has put money behind it, bro. He spent on it, and you can say, oh, he should be spent. Okay, go look at the other owners in this league. Go look at Robert Sarver and that freaking mess. Mark Cuban. Go look at the rest of these cats. James Dolan,
underrated a mess,
bro.
I don't think he gets.
Not good
because they didn't.
Bro, you know who's underrated? Jeannie Buss. Go look at what she's doing to the freaking jewel of the NBA.
I mean, no one wants to talk about it, but that's another show.
But just look at the track record. Look at the people she's empowered. Look at what she's done. As in her capacity as the chief executive officer of the team, the people who she is empowered, who she's delegated authority to, and put resources behind. And now look at what Joe Lacob is out here doing. You can't do that. Can't do that. You can't put Lacob in the category of these bums.
Wind it there.
The guy in Minnesota. We don't even know if A-Rod's group has the money to buy this thing. Letting him trade guys.
Up a fair point. You just start listing names around the league. It's like when you complain. It's like when you're a kid complaining to your parents and they're like, "Do you really want to have this conversation about how much worse your life could be right now?"
Bro, Clay Bennett. He empowered Sam Presti, which is smart. Sam Presti, he's as good as it gets in that position. But guess what? He's cheap. Lacob is empowering competence and paying for it. You just gotta.
Who's the best? Who's the top three owners in the NBA?
Board of Governors. Be correct.
Yeah.
I would say, Les Alexander. But did he? No, he sold his team.
He sold his team like 3 years. But
Tillman Furtada shows you why he was good at what he did. But
we haven't heard from Tillman in a while. Interesting,
right? But I would say
go with the Heat.
Lacob for sure. Mickey Arison for sure.
You're in LA. You gotta do the media thing and just slobber all over Ballmer.
No. Well, what I like about Ballmer is that he's used his ridiculous riches to make the team better. I'm sorry. He's like, I'm paying for a new arena. Not only am I paying for a new arena, I'm just giving James Dolan $400 million to get out of my way to do so. Right? Again,
which goes into making sure the Knicks stay bad. So
right, exactly. Management, management has been stable, and those guys are a competent group. So, Ballmer, I mean, sorry, he's done a good job at what he's asked to do. Who else would you say is good?
Joe Tsai's not in there. He's not making the top.
Of course not.
We're not touching Brooklyn.
We're not going to do the whole top. I guess you would put Lake up in the top 3.
Lakeup's in there. Harrison's in there. I guess you could
say what you
Boston,
want about that
yes,
group.
Boston, definitely competent ownership. Again, look at who they empower, and we won't get into Ime, but like, look at who they empower, and look at the results, right? But it's not just playing the results. It's like this is success born over decades in Miami, right? This is success. Like the Golden State thing is going on 10 years now. It's about to be 10 years of, again, Steph Curry deserves a lot of that, but they didn't have to bring in Steve Kerr. And as much as y'all used to bitch about Steve Kerr, he's a damn good coach.
We're editing this out anyway.
It was just a genius move. Steph didn't want Steve Kerr. If you want to go back in time, so.
So like you got to give this guy his credit. And the thing is, the reason why we're struggling to come up with this great ownership, because it don't exist.
Yeah.
The owners that hire competent basketball people, get out the way and are willing to spend to support it, to invest in it. It's 3 guys. Come on.
I mean, look, Jed York, he fucked up, and then he hired Kyle Shanahan, and he said, "I'm just gonna not ever talk again."
You take the bullets, bro.
Yeah, and I mean it's worked. I mean the Niners, it's fine.
Look at the Niners. Look at the Niners.
They'll lose again in the playoffs in agonizing fashion. But goddamn,
get you a Brock Purdy jersey.
Yeah,
I got you.
Hey, I was impressed. I'm sorry. I was impressed. I don't know about you guys.
It was wildly impressive.
He's slinging deep balls. Hey, man. He already won me over Jimmy G. Jesus Christ.
I mean, he
did like
be
3 things
Trey.
Jimmy's never done in that first game.
You think over Trey?
Not even a question about Waz. Appreciate you as always, my man.
Yeah, love you guys, man. Check out what we're doing. Ringer NBA every single Wednesday and Friday. I'm up there. Go check the podcast. Check out Full Court Fits on YouTube. Yeah, man, just support what we're doing, the brand and all of that. And obviously, you guys are my brothers. Anytime y'all need me to come up here, and Warriors fans, y'all gonna be fine. Don't worry.
I think this is what everyone needed right now. Appreciate you.
You're gonna be fine. Yes,
Thanks,
yes, sir.
brother. All right, man.